Lübbe Audio.
Uncovered, Colors of Love. Written by Kathryn Taylor. Narrated by Amelia Skye. Cold rain is running down my face, but I can hardly feel it. I'm completely focused on the man standing right in front of me. Jonathan. He ran after me through the rain, shirtless and barefoot, and he's just as wet as I am. We're standing under a street lamp, and his black hair is gleaming in the light. His upper body is naked, so I can see his ribcage rising and falling as the raindrops stream over his skin without stopping. I want to put my hand out and touch him, but I don't dare. "I don't want you to go, Grace." His deep voice sounds tense, and there's something in his blue eyes that I've never seen there before. A spark, the intensity of which almost frightens me. "Stay." Tears well up in my eyes because those are exactly the words I've been waiting to hear, but I'm still afraid. "I can't, Jonathan." Shaking my head sadly, I look back at the white villa with the wrought iron fence we're standing in front of. The club. It's very exclusive and somehow exciting. I can picture the people inside in my mind, the things that had just happened there. We had sex, unbelievably hot sex, which I'll never forget. But I also came up against my own limits, that's for sure. Because we weren't alone there. I was supposed to share him, and I couldn't. I don't want the kind of no-strings-attached affair that Jonathan expects. I simply can't pretend to not have feelings for him. "You were right all along. I can't play by your rules." A shudder runs through me as we go on, looking at each other. I don't want to leave him. The mere thought of it tears me apart. But what kind of a future would I have with that man when my heart is overflowing with love for him? When he recoils from any kind of real closeness? When I'm interchangeable to him, easy to replace? As much as it hurts me, I'll have to leave and go back to America. I'll have to leave Jonathan and try to forget. He stands there for a long moment, with his hands curled into fists, and I can see the muscles of his jaw working. "Then we'll have to change the rules," he says, taking a step toward me, coming even closer than before. "Then we'll play by your rules." "What?" I stare at him, stunned. I must have heard wrong. He can't have said that. But my voice is so thin and trembling that I have to clear my throat before I can go on speaking. "But I want us to have a relationship, Jonathan. A real one. Just me and you. And you said you weren't prepared to do that." He breathes out heavily. "But I'm definitely not prepared to let you go." He takes hold of my upper arm, and for a moment, I think he might be about to shake me. But his hands just clutch my arm in an iron grip, holding me still. "You've got to stay, Grace. Please." My heart starts beating faster. I can't remember Jonathan ever asking me for something, at least not like this. He can be unbelievably arrogant because he's used to having people follow his orders, but now he's actually asking me for something. He's ready to make compromises. Maybe I won't have to leave him after all. I feel such tremendous relief at the thought that my tears begin to mingle with the raindrops on my cheeks as I go on looking at him, losing myself in his unbelievably blue eyes. "Mr. Huntington? Jonathan!" He lets go of my shoulders, and we turn around with a start when we hear the voices coming from both sides almost simultaneously. The voice behind me, the one we heard first, belongs to Stephen, Jonathan's chauffeur. The tall blonde man has gotten out of the limousine parked at the curb and is looking at us questioningly. He's clearly uncomfortable at the sight of his boss, standing semi-naked and barefoot in the rain on a sidewalk in ritzy Primrose Hill, staring at me. But he doesn't say a word. He obviously doesn't want to intrude, because someone else is approaching from the other side. Jonathan's Japanese business associate, Yuto Nagako, has followed us out of the club and is approaching with quick steps. Unlike Jonathan, he's dressed. He was still dressed back there, too, because he didn't get there till later than us. His face is a serious mask, and strangely impassive. But that means nothing. He always looks like that. "Why are you standing here in the rain?" he says in his cool, flawless English, which right now I find just as creepy as the man himself. "Come back inside." It actually sounds kind of sweet, as if he's worried that we might catch a chill, even though there's no real danger of that right now in early June. But I know better because I can see that glint in the eyes, which I found sinister right from the beginning. He's almost as tall as Jonathan, but he's older. I find it hard to guess exactly how old, and he was definitely one of the main reasons I couldn't stand it in the club any longer. I wish he hadn't followed us, because I want to be alone with Jonathan. And Jonathan seems to feel the same way, because he has a hostile expression on his face when he turns to look at the Japanese man. "We're not going back in," I explain in a firm voice. I'd love to just run straight across to Stephen, get into the car, and drive off. Yuto looks at Jonathan, annoyed. He clearly can't believe his ears. But Jonathan nods. "We're leaving." Yuto says something in Japanese, which I can't understand, his face still impassive. He sounds angry. Unlike me, Jonathan speaks Yuto's native language fluently. He answers him in a tone of voice that doesn't sound particularly friendly. "Come on," he says to me, turning abruptly toward the limousine. Happy to get away from the Japanese man, I'm about to follow him, but I can't. Suddenly, Yuto is right there. He's grabbed my arm and is holding me still. But we haven't had a chance to get to know each other better. He attempts a smile, but fails. The fun was only just starting. I shake my head. I'm not going back into the club under any circumstances, especially not with him. I'm disgusted by the mere thought of doing the same things I just did with Jonathan with that creepy Japanese guy. No, not for me it wasn't, I say. I try to free myself from his grip, but he keeps hold of me. Now, he's definitely not smiling anymore. "What's going on here, Jonathan?" His face is contorted, his voice even more aggressive than before. "She agreed. She came with you." "Let her go," Jonathan says. A note of warning in his voice is impossible to ignore. "She came here with me, and she's leaving with me." But Yuto doesn't intend to let me go. He says something else in his native language. It doesn't seem to be something nice, because Jonathan's already cold gaze now turns positively icy. "That's none of your business," he barks at the Japanese man. "And now, let her go." Once more, Yuto doesn't respond. In fact, his grip grows even firmer, and he pulls me closer toward him. From up close, his face looks more haggard, and his wrinkles are deeper. He must be older than I thought, in his late rather than early 40s. And his gaze is still piercing, cold, angry. "She's confusing you, Jonathan. If I'd known she would cause trouble, I wouldn't have insisted you bring her." His words are addressed to Jonathan, but he's looking at me. "She's not here because of you," Jonathan replies. A muscle in his cheek is twitching. Yuto laughs, but he doesn't sound happy. "But she never would have gotten close to you without me. Don't forget that. She wouldn't be here at all." The remark makes me angry. When I arrived at the airport and Jonathan met me by chance, Yuto is there, yes, and is interested.